I made my cheating husband hire his ex. Then I exposed him publicly. The red light on the security camera app wasn't blinking, it was solid. A steady, unblinking crimson eye staring at me from the screen of my phone, which I was currently gripping so hard my knuckles were white. I was sitting in my car, parked 2 blocks away from my own house, watching a live feed of my living room that made my stomach churn with a mixture of nausea and vindication. It was Wednesday, February 25th, 11 a.m. I was supposed to be at work, buried in spreadsheets. My husband, Mark, was supposed to be sick in bed with a migraine. And the new cleaning lady we hired was supposed to be scrubbing the floors. But no one was scrubbing anything. On the screen, Mark was sitting on our beige sectional sofa. He looked perfectly healthy. He was wearing his favorite grey sweatpants and no shirt. He was laughing, throwing his head back in a way he hadn't done with me in months. And sitting next to him, legs draped over his lap, was a woman. She wasn't wearing a uniform. She wasn't holding a mop. She was wearing a tight black dress and holding a glass of white wine. I knew her. The recognition hit me like a physical slap. It was Jessica. His ex-girlfriend. The one he swore he hadn't spoken to in 3 years. The one who ruined his life. "You're paranoid, Hannah," he had told me just last week when I asked about a late-night text. "She's ancient history. Why are you so insecure?" Insecure. I watched as Jessica leaned in and kissed him. It wasn't a peck. It was deep. Familiar. I felt the heat rising in my neck, a prickly, radioactive sensation that started at my collarbone and crawled up behind my ears. My vision went a little blurry at the edges. He had hired her. He had specifically chosen the cleaning service she worked for, a fact I had discovered 2 days ago, after hours of internet sleuthing, so he could bring her into our home right under my nose. "You think you're slick," I whispered to the phone. "You think you're a genius." I watched as Mark refilled her glass. They clinked glasses. A toast to their deception. I didn't drive home immediately. I didn't burst in screaming. That would be messy. That would give him a chance to spin it. We were just talking. She just stopped by. No. I needed witnesses. I needed an audience. I picked up my phone. I dialed Linda, Mark's mother. "Hello." Linda answered on the second ring. She loved me. She thought I was the best thing that ever happened to her son. "Linda," I said, keeping my voice steady but injecting just enough tremor to sound distressed. "Are you busy?" "No, honey. Just gardening." "Is everything okay?" "I need you to meet me at the house," I said. "Right now. And bring Bob. It's an emergency. Mark is in trouble." "Trouble? Is he hurt?" "Please just come. I can't explain over the phone. I need you to see it. We are on our way." Then I called his sister, Sarah. Then our mutual friends, Mike and Jenna. "Meet me at the house," I told them all. 11:45, don't knock. Just wait for me in the driveway. I sat in my car, watching the feed. They were getting comfortable. Jessica was taking off her shoes. Mark was massaging her feet. I felt a cold, hard knot form in my chest. This wasn't just cheating. This was a violation of my sanctuary. My home. At 11:40 a.m., I started the car. I drove slowly. I wanted the timing to be perfect. When I pulled into the driveway, Linda and Bob were already there, standing by their car looking anxious. Sarah pulled up a minute later. Mike and Jenna arrived right on time. I got out of the car. I didn't say a word. I just held up my phone. "Hannah?" Linda asked, reaching for me. What is it? Where is Mark? He's inside, I said. Working from home. Or working on something. I tapped the screen. I hit play on the recorded clip from 10 minutes ago. Linda watched. Bob leaned in. Sarah gasped. They saw Mark. They saw Jessica. They saw the kiss. They saw the wine. Is that? Sarah whispered. Is that Jessica? Yes, I said. The maid. Linda covered her mouth with her hand. Bob's face turned a dark shade of red. He told us he was sick, Mike muttered, shaking his head. He is sick, I said. He's sick in the head. I looked at them. I'm going in. You can come with me, or you can wait here. But I think you should see this. I walked to the front door. I unlocked it quietly. The house was silent, except for the faint sound of music coming from the living room. I walked down the hallway. My entourage followed, a silent phalanx of judgment. We reached the archway to the living room. I stepped into the room. Mark was lying back on the sofa, eyes closed, a smile on his face. Jessica was straddling him, massaging his shoulders. Her dress was unzipped halfway down the back. Babe, that feels amazing, Mark groaned. You have magic hands. Mark, I said. My voice wasn't loud. It was conversational. Does your mother have magic hands too? Mark's eyes snapped open. He saw me. Hannah, he yelped, scrambling to sit up, shoving Jessica off him. She tumbled onto the floor with a shriek. You're home early. I. Then he saw the people behind me. He saw Linda, tears streaming down her face. He saw Bob, looking like he wanted to tear the house down. He saw Sarah, Mike, and Jenna, all staring at him with expressions of pure disgust. Mom? Mark squeaked. His voice cracked like a teenager's. He tried to pull a throw blanket over his lap. Dad? What is this? What is this? Bob roared. His voice shook the walls. You tell me, son. What the hell is this? Jessica scrambled backward, crab walking across the rug, trying to pull her dress up. I was just cleaning. He had a cramp. Cleaning. I laughed. It was a dry, humorless sound. Where is the mop, Jessica? Where is the bucket? I see a lot of wine, but I don't see any Windex. I brought my own supplies, she stammered, looking around for a non-existent bag. You brought wine, I corrected her. And you brought yourself. Mark hired you. He specifically requested you. Hannah, please, Mark stood up, holding the blanket around his waist like a toga. Let's talk about this privately. Don't involve my parents. It's complicated. It's not complicated, Linda said. Her voice was ice cold. You are cheating on your wife. In her house. With that woman. Mom, she's not that woman. Mark defended her, instinctively. We have history. We were just catching up. Catching up with your tongue in her mouth. Sarah spat. We saw the video, Mark. Hannah showed us. Mark turned to me. His eyes narrowed. You recorded me. In my own house. That's illegal. It's our house, Mark, I said. And it's a security camera. For package theft, remember? You helped me set it up. He went pale. He remembered. You set me up, he whispered. You knew. You hired the cleaning service. I suggested it, I smiled. You hired them. You picked the company. You picked the time. You walked right into it. Jessica stood up. She looked at Mark. She looked at me. I'm leaving. I'm not dealing with this. Go ahead, I said. But you might want to check your email first. What? She frowned. I sent the video to your boss, I said. Mrs. Gable. About 10 minutes ago. Subject line, employee conduct violation. I think drinking on the job and sleeping with clients is frowned upon in the cleaning industry. Jessica's phone chimed in her purse on the table. She grabbed it. She looked at the screen. UB*TCH, she screamed at me. She fired me. She fired me via text. She said she has a reputation to uphold, I shrugged. Maybe you can put professional homewrecker on your resume. Jessica grabbed her shoes. She didn't put them on. She ran out the door barefoot, cursing me, cursing Mark, cursing the world. Mark stood there, alone, wrapped in a blanket, surrounded by his shattered life. Get out, I said. What? Get out. Pack a bag. Go to your mom's. Or go to Jessica's. I don't care. But you aren't staying here. This is my house too. Mark shouted, trying to regain some ground. You can't kick me out. Actually, I walked to the kitchen counter. I picked up a manila folder I had placed there when we walked in. I can. I pulled out a document. This house was purchased with my inheritance from my grandmother, I said. The down payment. The mortgage payments. It's all traceable to my separate property funds. We signed a postnup 3 years ago, when I got the inheritance. Remember? Mark stared at me. He had forgotten. Or he hoped I had. The deed is in my name, I said. You are an occupant. And I am terminating your occupancy. Effective immediately. Mom? Mark turned to Linda. Talk to her. Linda looked at her son. She looked at the wine glasses on the table. She looked at the spot where Jessica had been sitting. I have nothing to say to you, Linda said. Come on, Bob. Let's go. Dad? Bob shook his head. You made your bed, son. Now lie in it. Or? I guess you already did. They walked out. Sarah followed them, shooting Mark a look of pure disappointment. Mike and Jenna hugged me and left. It was just us. You planned this, Mark whispered. You cold-hearted. I protected myself, I said. You called me paranoid, Mark. You told me I was crazy. You gaslit me for months. Well, turns out, the paranoid wife is the one holding the deed. I tossed the folder on the table. Divorce papers are inside, I said. My lawyer drafted them yesterday. Infidelity. Irreconcilable differences. And since you used our joint account to pay for the cleaning service, I'm asking for reimbursement for that too. Mark looked at the papers. He looked at the room. He looked at me. He realized he had lost. He had lost the game he thought he was winning. He went to the bedroom. He packed a bag. It took him 20 minutes. He walked to the door. He stopped. I loved you, he said. No, I said. You loved having a wife and a girlfriend. You loved the cake and the eating of it too. But the bakery is closed, Mark. He left. I locked the door behind him. I engaged the deadbolt. I set the alarm. I walked back to the living room. I looked at the wine glasses. I picked them up and threw them in the trash. I stripped the sheets off the couch cushions and threw them in the trash too. I sat down. The house was quiet. My phone buzzed. It was a text from Linda. Linda, I am so sorry, Hannah. We had no idea. We love you. If you need anything at all, we are here. I texted back, Thank you, Linda. I kept the house. The divorce took 6 months. Mark fought for spousal support, but the video evidence of his affair, and the fact that he lost his job shortly after due to reputational damage, when the story got out in our small town, didn't help his case. The judge wasn't sympathetic. I saw Jessica once at the grocery store. She was working the checkout line. She saw me. She looked down. She didn't say a word. I bought a bottle of wine. I went home. I sat on my couch. My clean, mark-free couch. I looked at the Furbo camera. Good boy, I whispered to the empty room. Sometimes, you have to trust your gut. And sometimes, you have to trust the technology you bought to watch your dog. So, tell me. Am I the monster for ambushing my husband with his entire family, or did he just get swept out with the trash?
If you have made it this far and want to see more videos like this, then kindly subscribe and turn on notifications so you may never miss another story like this.